Guys, I first shot this gun in February and I have been gagging to share it with you ever since. This is the Beretta 688 Performance. Let's go light them up. I can't wait.
You'll have noticed that this gun is not conventional looking.
I'd say that was ready to go.
It's designed as Beretta's new entry-level dedicated clay gun, and as such, is very adjustable. Given that I wanted to give this a fair test, I spent a bit of time getting it set up for me.
We are going to do an exact technical walkthrough of this in just a moment. It's got a heck of a lot of features. As you've seen, pretty much everything on it is customizable, making it, well, the new entry-level competition gun. When I first saw this and then shot it, I felt like this is going to be a future classic, like the 682 Goldies of old. People will be wanting and talking about this gun for a while. It outshoots its price point. But just to remember how it shoots, because it's been a while, we need to shoot some rounds. How about a 50 bird sporting?
The first two stands were pretty steady, and the 1/4 chokes I'd put in, mixed with 6.5 sovereigns, turned these clays to dust. This gun and I were getting along famously.
I'll tell you what. Being able to rebalance this gun really is a bit of a game changer. I know you can make your own balancing weights to go in the Silver Pigeon, but actually being able to sit this gun up for me, turned it to a gun I can shoot super instinctively. It doesn't come with the balancing weights, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. Before we shoot any more stands, seeing as I'm straight and I'd like to really relax and indulge in the feeling of feeling like I haven't missed yet, let's go up there, sit down, let me show you what this new gun's all about. So obviously this gun does not feature traditional walnut furniture. It has got black laminate furniture, which I think looks really cool. I think we can all agree that this is a way more modern look. There are numerous benefits to laminate and only a couple of downsides. The benefits are you have perfect grain structure and completely uniform weight from stock to stock. This gun also, ergo, is heavier. It also has a bit more weight in the action. We'll get to that in a second. This gun weighs in at 3.75 kilos, whereas the Silver Pigeon equivalent with the walnut stock is 3.3. Because of the way laminate performs under stress, you actually end up with a slightly more consistent recoil as well. There's going to be less flex, and I know it's all a very small amount, but from my experience shooting laminate guns and walnut guns side by side, it takes a very nice piece of walnut to in any way imitate this. Get up, do the up rock. Get down and shake. For me, the real benefit is just in that added weight. You end up with a nice heavy gun through the back, the front, and now the center, because the center is a wider version of the 680 action. It doesn't have the scallops, and so you actually have more retained weight in the center of the gun. And as I've said many times, center weight is really ideal in making good quality sporting shotguns. Get up. Well, get up. This now has a palm swell modeled off the 694 palm swell, so just feels a little nicer in the hand, fills the center of your hand whilst also being nicely scalloped at the front and back. Really have no complaints about the grip on this one actually. Not that I have many complaints about most grips, but this does feel really good. It's also good and deep. I've got pretty big hands, and as you can see, this grip works well. As previously mentioned, it is heavier than a Silver Pigeon. The Silver Pigeon equivalent being 3.3 kilos, this being 3.75, but this is ready for balancing weights, meaning that when I put the 80 grams in the back, that brought our balance pretty much bang over the hinge. And if you like, it's not too fussy either. That's aided by all this midweight. When you have the weight all in the extremes, what you find is that actually when you tap the back, it will just tip and twitch and be rather horrible. This is a really all-round, well-balanced gun, and I've found that shooting these first two stands so far. Yeah, the targets aren't too big and heavy to shoot at, but crushing them requires good moves, regardless of whether it's 30 yards or 55 yards. Maybe the placement's harder on the others, and we're going to go and find some hard targets in a minute. It doesn't need mentioning because it's obviously there. It's got an adjustable comb. This is the Beretta B-File system, totally easy to use. You've got just enough variability to get it wherever you're going to need, unless you're a completely ridiculous gun fit size. One of the only downsides to a laminate stock is that you can't cast it, bend it. If you're going to reshape it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to refinish. But where you've got an adjustable comb and the ability to put spaces in the back, it's not many people who would consider doing anything out of the box to this gun, actually requiring a fire or heat. So that's good, right? In fact, I don't know why many people would go and buy a sporting gun without a custom stock, without an adjustable comb, because, well, I just take my personal journey into account, how far I've come over the years, more importantly, how my body's changed, how my shooting style has changed. Having an adjustable comb just makes some sense. More importantly, adds a bit of weight at the rear. Certainly if you're going for that 32-inch barrel spec, even with the laminate, the adjustable comb still needed 80 grams to put it where I'd want it. Obviously, balance is completely subjective. Some people might actually prefer it a bit more out the front. Some people might prefer it more out the back, but this is all part of the journey of shooting, part of your personal preferences, and the glory of a gun with this much adjustability. The top of the Action has quite a nice feature. It is stippled. Today it's not really an issue. In fact, it's never really an issue in the UK, but having just shot this gun in Texas, where it was 33 degrees, whatever that, in the 90s of Fahrenheit, with blazing low sunshine, glare does matter. And actually I found the glare off the barrels and all these sort of things, it's the first time I've ever really experienced that in my life. Having that stippling on the top over there really helped just keep my focus on the side picture. It's one of those things that really doesn't matter until it does, but you'd be glad that you had it. The Action, as we said, is wide, and wide all the way to the front. Doesn't have those half side plates like a 686. Modelled more on the size and weight of a 694 or the ultra light, with that big, wide, heavy Action. I really like it, you know. I really do like it. And they haven't just stuck it on. You've got nice chamfers onto the wider fore-end iron. You've got some nice cuts and bit of machining on the Action just to add some shape. Performance and 688 in orange. And as you can see, the Beretta Trident on the bottom with 688. All round good, modern looking gun. The fore end is also black laminate and both are laser checkered. The laser checkering feels nice. If you've felt a Beretta grip before, it's kind of how it feels. Good, they kind of know what they're doing at this point. The trigger is adjustable before we move forward. Black adjustable, lovely little touch. And you have the manual safety on the top with selector, with a red to show which barrel is going to go bang first. Internally, it's almost the same as all the other 6.8 Actions. There's a slight difference with the closure that we'll look at another time, but needless to say, it actually has smoothened the whole thing up. Whether you notice it or not will really depend on how much of a gun geek, engineering loser like me that you are. The fore end is the rounded American style. I really like this, a little bit wider than standard, following on from the width of the Action. Love it, no complaints there. Actually feels more like a DT fore end. Ventilated top rib, ventilated mid rib, and standard Stelium barrels, which come with 5 extended chokes in the box. Pretty cool. I opted to put improved cylinder in and mod, because we're here at Barbary on a weekday, so there's nothing too tasty out there. I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty cool looking. Slight redesign of the top lever and the engraving on there. You just need to get one in your hands and sort of enjoy it. This is not a super flashy, blingy gun. This is a modern, cool thing. I can imagine Ant having one of these, which means it must be cool, because he's my coolest friend.
The next stand up was a fast sim pair of right to left crosses.
First target you saw, nice quick move, but the other one by that point was behind the gun, so you had to move back and place the gun underneath it somewhere. You could choose whatever way you wanted to move to that target, but it broke. We're still straight by some miracle. I appreciate it's not the hardest of layouts, but a stand like that is the sort of place I'd walk in and maybe expect to miss one, because you had to really bat into that first bird, and then the second bird you just needed to shoot with utter confidence. I guess the beauty of a gun you can set up for yourself is it does remove some excuses. It's always worth spending the time. The first time I shot this out in Germany, I actually ran a 25 straight on the compact there at the indoor shooting cinema range thing. And I remember thinking at the time that, yeah, this is the best entry-level competition gun they've made since the era of the 682 Gold E, which wasn't an entry-level competition gun. It is a mid-range competition gun. I mean, it sits between a 694 and a Silver Pigeon, but I really do think that it competes with the 694, you know, in the way that it shoots. It's different. I don't think it's better or worse. It is different. Slightly different barrel technology, of course, and there's a big advantage to be had there, but to save a few quid and have a lot of the same handling characteristics, this gun punches above its price point. Both show.
This next stand was a bit more like it. A 55-yard crossing midi rolled away over a hedge, followed by an orange standard quartering away. This gun and I ate them up. That's right.
Straight. I really do think this is one of the best guns I've shot at its price point for a very long time. You know, working with Beretta, I've got to know some of the product development team pretty well. They really do know their stuff. They are properly passionate about making good guns. And I think this is one of the best that they've thought through in a while. Better weight distribution than the Silver Pigeon, more durable stock. It's cool looking, regardless of its technical performances. Just maybe you wouldn't take it driven grouse shooting, but I do think it is a very cool looking gun. It appeals to the inner child in me, but also kind of appeals to the shooter in me. This is a gun that can take proper abuse. You no longer have to worry so much about warpage or taking it out in the rain. You can just go and hammer this for days. I think I love it. I really do. I loved it the first time I shot it. I was like, you know what, that is a future classic. I've said that already, but I will say it again with confidence. One thing that I would change, if I would change anything about it, I'd have black chokes, but it's a pretty pathetic minimalist request. You can always buy them afterwards.
With that, we moved on to the last stand.
Straight. I don't think I've ever done that with a gun I've reviewed. I didn't do that with my own gun. I think I am genuinely affirmative in my belief that this is a good thing. I think it's priced at the right point. I think it's spec'd really well. People who shoot have designed this, which does make a big difference. For those that don't know, the channel is actually sponsored by Beretta, so take that as you will, although I can promise you that I don't think I would have said a thing different, and I still wouldn't change a thing even if we didn't have that relationship and that support from them. I think this is an amazing gun. I think it will age well, I really do. And usually I'm the first to jump to conclusions and say, I can't see the value, but with this I can see nothing but value. I love it. I really think it's fantastic. I'm almost tempted to carry on and see if we can do 100 straight. I mean, this is a boy who couldn't do 25 straight at skeet the other week. And some of these targets are the sort of targets you should miss. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I'd love your opinions on this. It is definitely going to divide some, but I think for the price, for the point in the market, for somebody who wants something slightly different that's a good competition gun, this really weighs up. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching TGS Outdoors. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, like it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and share it with your friends. This channel would not exist without the support of our amazing sponsors. They really do keep this content coming week after week. Thank you also to our channel members. You guys are amazing. If you want to know more about channel membership, there's a join button down there. Click it, you get some free extra content, you get early releases, occasionally we get together and shoot some clays. Take care, guys. We'll catch you soon.